Kebbi State, northwest Nigeria, is in the throes of rampant banditry and needs help fast. For about a year now, a member representing Yauri, Shanga, Ngaski Federal Constituency of the states at the House of Representatives, Tanko Yusuf Sununu, has cried out that bandits are having a field day in the area. He is still worried about the rampant banditry in the area, saying the time for help is now. Today, it's so amazing. In our second topic or in our third topic, we spoke about this, and we spoke about Boko Haram, and now banditry. Now, it's as if it's now the in thing. Once these guys are 14, 15, 16, in that part of the country, everybody is recruited and everybody just wants to have a taste of that ransom money. So it's something that has really gone far. And to curtail it, apart from killing them, it will take time to really curtail this thing because they've enlisted most of our youths.
Well, it will look like an exaggeration. You said they've enlisted most. Mm-hmm. They've not enlisted most of them. They brought in foreigners. Some of these people are not foreigners, and they are foreigners. Some of them are foreigners from Niger Republic. And they've also engaged spies, people who stand by the roadside, just spying on vehicles. Sometimes when you stop to buy something, they will notify them that, oh, there is a big shot, it's coming in so car, and then they kidnap you. You know? So a lot of our people are collaborating with them. Even at the height of the Boko Haram insurgency, that was also happening.
They had
old women helping Boko Haram insurgents to hide their guns just because of money. Bandits pay over the odds for all the things that they need. The petrol that they need to fuel their motorbikes, they pay in excess, by far in excess of what you and I pay. For the people who supply them bread, Governor Masari was warning them the other day that those bakers who supply them bread, that they are going to deal with them. They pay highly for loaves of bread because they can't go to the market the way you and I can go to buy things. In order to have access to those things, they are prepared to pay a hefty sum of money. So our people, we now have what looks like the bandit economy in the far north. And different categories of people are benefiting from it. So in such a situation,
drug peddlers.
Yes.
Sellers of
tramadol, Indian hemp, and all that. You know, they need these things to oil their banditry. So people who will come and sell to them, even prostitutes, they also pay over the odds
to ship them in.
No, the prostitutes that are available, that are willing to come and sleep with them, they pay heftily to encourage us. I remember the story of a woman who said that these guys pay 50,000 for a round of sex, that he had to even bring in her daughter, so that bandit money can be circulating within the family. So it's terrible. It's terrible. The danger that I see is, as long as we can't keep them under check, more and more people will take to banditry. More and more young people will think that, look, if we can't beat them, let's join them. So it's a dangerous situation. And it's in Kebbi State, especially in the Zuru Emirate, more and more people are being killed by these guys. It's not every part of Kebbi that is unsafe, but that area, they are killing people in dozens, and it really has to stop.
I don't know, Yusuf, when you look at it and you see attempt by governments, to take on this, but the more they try, the more the bigger the cartel. And Nasser El-Rufai said sometime that, look, these were cattle rearers earning 90,000, 200,000. That's what they've tasted now, that it's going to be difficult for you to tell them to go back to their less lucrative cattle rearing.
Well, for the case of Kebbi, you see many of their big men lamenting, crying out that bandits operate unchallenged in their area. And sometimes, even when soldiers try to, you see the disastrous consequences. They kill our soldiers. You see how many times the local vigilantes, they slaughter them like fowls. I mean, bandits slaughter local vigilantes like fowls.
Don't want to see them.
So now, with the money involved, people now see a lucrative window in crime. Everybody, many people want to make money through all this. And how do we solve that? It becomes more problematic when people now start seeing financial opportunity in this kind of, And when you look at Kebbi State, especially from February and March, this year, it's been so bad. It's every day they have problem. Every day. Maybe as we speak, there is problem as well. So they come, they kill people, kill bandits, and kill vigilantes, abduct women, kill young people. How many soldiers have we lost in that area in the last 2-3 months? So it's so sad. But many of these things are not well reported in the media. So many people don't know that this is the magnitude of the crisis there.
Well, okay. I have the member representing Yauri, Shanga, Ngaski Federal Constituency of Kebbi State at the House of Representatives, Tanko Yusuf Sununu. Thank you for joining us. Honorable, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Can you please paint a picture of what is happening in your constituency? That's Yauri, Shanga, and Ngaski Federal Constituency in Kebbi State.
Well, thank you very much for finding me. Was it to be invited in this your program? Journalists hang out. Well, let's just say that hitherto to now, Kebbi State has been one of the most peaceful states in the country. But in the last few months,
okay, before we connect with and we were talking about the menace, and look at this Kebbi State now. Kebbi State is known for, farming and rice cultivation and everything, and this will, adversely affect farmers in this state.
Yes, part of the reason farmers have been slaughtered, especially in Zulu Emirate, is the reluctance of some farmers to pay levies to bandits. They had not been used to it. In states like Niger, maybe Katsina, where banditry had been rampant for years, it is possible for farmers to say, well, in exchange for peace, this is what
Let's just have
do.
peace.
Let's just, because they knew the consequences of not doing business with those guys. But Kebbi State, for so long, they didn't have this problem. So the moment these guys were asking for levy, to be paid some levies and all that, they were resisted. And it led to a big slaughter, 88 persons killed in one day. And they've not stopped.
I think the Honorable Tanko Yusuf Sununu is back. So, as you were saying, I asked you about the situation on ground in your constituency.
Well, thank you very much. As that's a very wonderful question. I mentioned earlier that hitherto now, Kebbi State has been one of the most peaceful states in the country. But in the last few months, at least 1 year back, we have seen a lot of incursion into Kebbi South, especially Yauri Emirate and Zuru Emirate councils. These areas constitute about 7 local governments. And then why we are worried is the fact that the situation is so bad that Kebbi being an agrarian state, with Zuru and Yauri being the most fertile part of the Kebbi state, and that the sustaining, especially Yauri, the rice production that Kebbi state champion, we've seen a situation whereby the uncertainty as far as security of life and properties has challenged that position of Yauri Emirate and Zuru Emirate as far as food security in the country, and by implication affecting Kebbi and Nigeria at large. Because of this, I have raised 3 major motions in the House of Representatives to address, calling on the federal government through their security agencies to address the issues. Why are we worried? We are worried in the fact that based on the fact that, one, it's really clear that there is no base of bandits in Kebbi State. It means they have to travel from neighboring states of Zamfara, Niger, and Kaduna to come to Kebbi and operate. So they come in large numbers, hundreds riding motorcycles. 3, they have to cover a kilometer of almost 300 plus kilometers to get to their target. And thirdly, they hardly operate at night. In fact, it's their modus operandi. Wherever it is 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. for them, that the next village, that's where they will pass night, and before proceeding the following day to where they are going to operate.
Confident.
And fifthly, we also notice that they don't. They have a meeting point whereby they will gather before moving in mass. And with all these 6, we also realize that the local people are so cooperative that they call major stakeholders to tell them that, look, bandits are on their way coming. They are gathering here, they are in this village. In fact, it's timeline reporting. But we got worried that despite that, they still have to go to get to their target, this mayhem and the blaze, and then go back to their destination. This they have done several times in my constituency. They were in Federal Government College, Bindi Yauri, where they have kidnapped over 100 girls. Up till now, we have more than 10 of them that are still with them. We are uncertain on how they are. They also came, the last time they were in Shanga, they burnt down completely and nearly Stongan Zarume, and visited Bakintru. Many people were kidnapped. Cows roasted. So also if you go to areas of Kimo, Biniawudi, Kimo area, and then the Kambua. And lastly, we've also seen that the economic situation of Kebbi State that has been so far worked hard by the governor to bring about 2 major companies is also in a serious jeopardy. We have GB Food, which is one of the biggest producer of tomatoes in West Africa, that chooses Ngaski, Gavra near my village, as their main production site. They have a very big farm, and it was estimated that over $5 million have been so far spent to bring forth the facility. But the last attack, the same company was the target of these bandits, even though we are lucky that information were disseminated early, and the bandits were the foreign partners of the company were evacuated. But despite that, they were able to go to their target, hit the target, and kill about 5 policemen on guard, kill 1 person in Ngaski. From there, they proceeded to NASCO in Niger State, and also kill a DPO there, divisional police officer, and a lot of policemen. Even though we heard that along their way, they also attempted to attack another police station in Bangi in Niger State, where they met their Waterloo, and a lot of them were killed. But the issue is that despite this knowledge that they are coming, they are gathering, they are this, you find that the locals will be left with few vigilante or volunteers, and then the ill-equipped local policemen and other security agencies that cannot face them in any way. So this has put a lot of fears in the mind of people. And what is the consequences now? Schools are closed down in some places. Like already we have lost Federal Government College Bini Yauri because of the bandits that went there and kidnapped children. We also have the government science secondary school Yauri that has to be closed down, and some other schools that are there, even the day school, not even boarding. They have to close them down because of fear of this. So it means that their illiteracy level will increase. School attendance and out of school girls would be decent. And this is also a major challenge to self-school initiative of the federal government. And something must be done to ensure that that is decent. Economically, I mentioned earlier that we are producers of food crops, cash crops. This, as of today now, I'm telling you, because last rainy season was inadequate, the rainfall was not sufficient enough for people to harvest. The little that also people have harvested, these bandits are going, packing it and burning it down completely. So what is there? The security is not there, and hunger and famine is almost about to show its ugly head. Not only that, when you know that the kind of system of our farmers in terms of their attitude to farming is today they will farm this year, keep the one that they are going to eat, sell the others, and then buy cows, so that those cows, they will rear them for at least a period of another 1 year, and during the next rainy season they will sell them out and then invest it in farming. You find that most of our farmers that are into that practice lost their cows trustless, and this is a major concern, that even if peace is to be restored, their capacity to go into farming is also compromised seriously. Not only that, you know, the major issue of being a terrorist, it instills fear. So now there is serious fear in our people, and that's the major issue. Excessive fear has a lot of both medical and psychological impact. Medically, those people with chronic diseases cannot even get time to go and for their normal consultation, and because also of that fear, majority may went up to develop hypertension with its consequences. And then socially, because of the fear, you cannot go to nearby market for you to buy and sell your goods. In fact, market will have been attacked. So this has put the people in a serious concern, that you find that after all this, the major issue that came is worsening from humanitarian crisis, with a lot of people moving from somewhat called presumed safe areas. For example, now when it happened, people around Bakintru, Tungankolo, and many other villages, Bini Yauri and rest, moved to Yauri. So also a lot of people from areas of Ngaski, Wara, moved, Gafara and rest, moved towards Wara. This is all presumption. But so to say that nowhere is secured. But what we are of recent, I have to commend also the effort of the state government in bringing our normalcy, and also in trying to make an effort to see how we can restructure and strategize and then empower our volunteers so that they can be more effective. And then there will be a better control, and then they are also censored and profiled, so that among them you cannot have also those that may compromise the setting. And this has been wonderfully done, and I do hope that also the state government will maintain that mentality.
Honorable Sununu, you talked about...
So the situation as today, I would say that normalcy is somehow restored, but people are still living in fear of what happened next.
Honorable Sununu, you talked about the need to empower the volunteers. Whenever we read reports of vigilance people being slaughtered by these boys, it's extremely painful, because they sacrifice their lives for ordinary people in those communities, in your constituency and in other places that are in danger. Many people have argued that it is better we have state police backed by law and sufficiently armed, because the weapons in the hands of these vigilante people can't stand up to what these bandits are going around with. So confronting them with damn guns and charms is not the solution. So what, in your opinion, should be done? Do you support the idea of allowing states to have their own police that will be sufficiently armed within the ambit of the law, so that they can confront these security challenges?
Thank you very much. I think this is a very important question. But I must also not want to 100% agree with you. I quite agree that they have sacrificed their life and volunteered to save and safeguard the people of where they are staying. We shouldn't rule out the role of volunteers. If you see the civilian DTF of Maiduguri, it's a very good example of Borno State that have really aligned, collaborated, and worked closely with the established formal agencies of security network. And they have the ability, they have more advantage in the sense that they have the local terrain is well known. If you look at the modus operandi of the bandits themselves, they hardly use motors. They use motorcycles because they have routes in the bushes that one, it's shortcut routes. Two, they no access to major military hardware that can pass and then confront them. So it means you need support of those local people to, as a matter of fact, serve as an anti-shock or a supporting system that will further give the knowledge of the terrain and then the route of the bandits that they are following. Yes, the issue of state security, state police, a lot of issues were raised. Pro and cons have been looked into, and many times when it comes into discussion, even in the National Assembly, it raised a lot of concern. But if you ask me for my own personal opinion, as you said, personally, I think time has come that we have to look critically and see how we can empower our citizens. And then there are a lot of advantages and disadvantages of state police. One, it creates a lot of job opportunities. Two, it also allowed those who have the information about local terrain to be well involved. Three, it will also make sure that people who are within their domain will respect the people they know much, and then information can easily be gotten. But the fear is that even given into the hand of those who are not really patriotic, there is fear that it can be used for political and other concerns. Now, the whole issue is that what is just most needed is if we can have them have an effective means of checkmating the activity, and then without allowing anybody that may sponsor that is responsible for them to take them and use them for contrary opinion, I think it is a welcome idea. But the argument for state police now is not the case. The case is that why can't we recruit more people into army, civil defense corps, police, and rest? You understand? That's why even the National Assembly, and especially the House of Representatives, even we had a security summit that we have submitted the report to Mr. President for possible implementation. We insisted that there is need for us to recruit more. The whole bandits, the last figure I had, it was about 30,000. And I'm telling you, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, the 7 states of the Northwest, today if you want to recruit 300,000 youth who are volunteer and ready to serve this country, they are there. They are there left jobless. And we do know that what is said is correct, that this something, the double workshop, an ideal man is a double workshop in there. So there are a lot of youth that are ready to volunteer or to be recruited in the police. So why can't we now, those that have been screened and profiled by state and they are found to be worthy because they have passed through their village in many states, be recruited and be converted to work and receive formal training, and then push them to either police, immigration, and other things. This will create a lot of jobs. Because if the bandits are using their number to intimidate us, we also have a pool of youth that we can harness. And we need to act fast, because there is one advantage that we have now. And I think it's high time where we work with it before we lose it. Up till now, the airspace of the country is under the control of federal government. We've seen a lot of challenges how these people are going from one place to another, from attacking road now to attacking train, and the fear that they may even attack aircraft, because you can see a lot of airlines are suspending their flight to Kaduna. So this means that this air control that we have, we must utilize this as fast as possible to ensure that we have a better synergy between security agencies with the alignment. And then the alignment must be more important among the 7 state governments, and including Niger State of North Central, so that they can work in harmony and see how we can end it. The mistake we are making currently is the mistake we had made earlier, When the Boko Haram started, we see it as a Northeast problem. People see it as Borno problem. Later it became Yobe, and later it moved to Adamawa. And that's why now we are now seeing, initially we thought that, people thought that the banditry is a problem of Zamfara State. But now it has become a problem of Northwest. And if care is not taken, North Central have already been entered. Everybody keep on saying that even Abuja is not safe because Niger is there, Kaduna is there, and there are a lot of pockets of attack in Benue and other places. So we must see it as a national issue. And as a national issue, what it requires is, I'm a surgeon. And as a surgeon, gynecological surgeon, we believe that there are stages. In stage 4 cancer, everybody, ask any doctor, stage 4 cancer is a hopeless situation. There's nothing much you can do. As far as this banditry issue is concerned, it has not reached stage 4. But it is in a stage whereby radical surgery can be done. You can act decisively and address it once for all. You see, we must change our modus operandi from being proactive, from being defensive to offensive. A situation whereby that's why they always have upper hand. We only went, we allowed them until they reach their target. That's then we now make, and then people come, they get reinforcement and they listen. And then secondly, so we must now take the fight to the base, to their bases.
Thank you so much,
the fight to their bases. That's a lot of advantage. One, they will be disoriented. You are likely also to destroy their armory. And large number of them will also be neutralized. So, and other ones can be taken care by the.
We have to leave it there, Honorable.
By the ground forces.
Thank you.
So I think we have to move that.
Thank you for your contribution. The member representing Yauri, Shanga, Ngaski Federal Constituency of Kebbi State at the House of Representatives, Honorable Tanko Yusuf Sununu.